Good afternoon, everyone. Warm greetings from Madalasa Aesthetic Gynecology and Feminine Rejuvenation Center, Thane. I wish you all happy Mother's Day. My topic is how to begin an aesthetic gynac setup. Let's start with who wish to start practice of aesthetic gynecology. Is it a newcomer debut aesthetic gynecologist or established obstetrician gynecologist with pre-existing setup? For fresh start and having dedicated aesthetic center, a solid business plan is must. There are different planning modules, but this is the simplest and most comprehensive pattern. There is 1S and 5M to remember: space, manpower, methodology, money, machines, and marketing. And for each of these heading, we should ask following questions like what, where, who, when, why, and how, whichever is applicable. Coming to the space, that is where you should start your practice. Location, run a survey. Location should have high visibility for car traffic and foot traffic. It should be near public transport locations so that your clients can easily approach to the center. It should be in the safe locality. Proximity to the hospital gives some advantages, and these factors overall reduces the marketing cost. The place must be fulfilling your requirement and it should be as per the norms. If it is owned, make sure to have occupancy certificate, completion certificate, fire NOC. If it is a rental place, proper contract with the required permissions and renewal on the expiry of the lease. The place should be adequately spacious to carry out different functions of clinic. It should be lighted, well aerated and ventilated, clean, without any legal disputes. The waiting and reception area should have been designed to make a positive impression. Pleasant ambience and soft music can help reducing anxiety of the client. Adequate sitting arrangement should be there. Wi-Fi access for the client should be there. No doubt it should be clean and neat, just like your overall center. Waiting room should have ample information leaflets, information videos about the aesthetic services available at your center. Procedure room or operation theater. A 10 by 12 feet room is generally sufficient. Preferably have a automated procedure chair designed for with the gynac stirrups. Adequate space around the table or procedure chair for easy access for the different procedures. Comfortable stool or chair for surgeon. OT light, refrigerator. Kindly note, no wall mirrors in the laser room. Coming to the manpower, staff, it is a key element. Hiring right, competent and knowledgeable staff is of paramount importance for the smooth functioning of the center. Before starting center, take a assessment how much staff and for what designation you are going to require the staff. The staff should be keen and knowledgeable and eager to learn, trustworthy, respectful, with good hospitality skills. Remember, your staff represents your practice, could be the first and last person to deal with the client. You should write down charters of duty for everyone. The role assigned to each staff should be clearly written with micro details about designation, the work expected, responsibility, liability, working hours, dress code, leave holidays, salary and incentive terms, penalties while giving the appointment letter. Once your staff selection is complete, train them according to the aesthetic services you intend to make available. Just like ourselves, make sure to keep staff informed and upgraded with consistent trainings. Receptionist or manager is key person of the center. The qualities that should have been there, like the person should be punctual or sincere, credible, confident, wearing warm smile on face, having good communication skills, ready to help, respectful, courteous, having positive attitude, with happy tone, and possessing hospitality skills. The receptionist should have been educated about the procedures and standard answers to FAQs. No doubt there should be phone etiquette should be acquired. Associates and visiting consultants. Your team can have regular consultants, panelists, freelancers, and what kind of services you intend to provide. Accordingly, your team can have dermatologist, aesthetician, plastic surgeon, urogynecologist, sexual medicine consultant, hair transplant surgeon, psychiatrist. With your team, have a clear discussion about charters of duty, scope of services, responsibilities, working hours, and revenue share. The extended team includes legal advisors, CA, IT firm for necessary tailor-made softwares, website developers, and social media promotion people, interior planner, list of the troubleshooting person per equipment, like there can be AC, OT equipment, autoclave, energy sources, electrical auditing person, your automated chair. Coming to methodology. Methodology should be written in detail because this is the key factor with which you are going to run your center. So it is about setting protocols and preparing chart. Obtain all the necessary permissions like Bombay Nursing Act, Fire Safety, Biomedical Waste, Shop Act license, if applicable. Get the indemnity insurance for individual doctor, for the clinic insurance, the client insurance, as well as for the staff. There should be a protocol book written in your center, and per treatment protocols should be set. There should be clinical evaluation sheets, consents, questionnaires, feedback forms. The procedure charges to be decided as per the trends in your locality and the client class you are expecting. Working hours should be decided. The electronic medical record and billing software are of great help to have organized data storage. Make sure the uninterrupted supply of consumables and spares. Maintaining stocks is another important thing. Phone, internet, and calling system should be up to the mark. Effective network line is very important. CCTV wherever appropriate. Sterilization. There should be provision for payment gateway or tie-up with the banks for EMI facility so that the client interested to get the services will have easy access to book the services. Coming to the money. Know your budget. Also calculate startup cost of the project, maybe with the help of CA or accountant. Judge about your financial arrangements. Calculate the expenses like rent, salary, phone bills, electricity, marketing budget, etc. Calculate the return of investment plans. And always have plan B. Professional help at different headings can be taken for the appropriate planning. Coming to equipments. First of all, write down the services you want to provide. We can start with the less costlier things like injectable, peels, PRP, and with the low cost machines like centrifuge machine, PRP tube, syringes, derma pen, derma roller, microsurgery set, well-equipped procedure room or operation theater. And once footfall increases with the increase in revenue, costlier machines can be ordered. While deciding for the energy sources or costlier machines, the choice of equipment balance between authenticity, time-tested efficacy and the cost. You can take suggestions and advice of your seniors and teachers. Check the warranty clauses carefully. The uh, the training from the machine selling people about the specific machine should be taken, because each machine have different protocols, and you should be well versed with the protocols of specific machine. Obtain machine insurance, the maintenance contract, number the machine, and prepare a daily inspection sheet and assign that duty to a specific person who will inspect the machine while opening the clinic as well as while shutting down the clinic. Electrical audit, power backup, and surge controlling devices. They will protect any electrical damage to your costly machines. As we spoke before, as we have mentioned before, the spares availability and providers. We should have the number and knowledge about the place and courier, everything we should know. Troubleshooting persons. One thing I would like to mention, that every coming day, sophisticated equipments with wonderful application of the technology giving amazing results are emerging. But the foundation will never change, and that is the quality of cosmetic surgeon. Adequate training from proper place, reasonable skills, in-depth knowledge, and staying updated are the keys. As we know, the magic lies with the magician and not with the wands. Coming to marketing part, I have highlighted two D's in red color, that is digital media and direct marketing. Digital media is the most trending, popular, and probably most effective in today's scenario. While direct marketing is dedicated by the dedicated salesperson or receptionist or manager or calling person. And most importantly, your happy clients who will always keep sending you new clients. The TV advertisement or TV interviews, they can be one of the marketing method, but they are really expensive, and generally for branding they are used. The print marketing like newspaper, pamphlets, and posters, they work best in rural and semi-urban areas. Coming to digital media marketing, most important is your website. It represents you. It should be designed very tactfully, maybe help of professional web developer, means taking the help from him or her will be a wise step. The website should be educative. It should display the services available and procedure related FAQs. Search engine optimization, that is SEO, is something which makes your website to rank higher in the search engine. Content marketing, use creative, small animation, small talks, small videos about the awareness kind of videos. It helps in lead generation and for generating traffic to your page. Email marketing, to promote content, event publishing, sharing discount offers to the patients, clients, and it also helps directing people to your website. Social media marketing, it is the robust way of promoting content. It also drives traffic and lead generation. Pay per click, that is paid services available, for example, Google AdWords. Some additional points: the consultation skills and tips. Look professional, be punctual, greeting and self-introduction is a very good gesture. Be polite. Politeness expresses sensitivity towards the opinion and feeling of others. You should be very observant and careful about own body language. Maintain eye contact, give full attention, listen and take notes. avoid distractive actions, do not interrupt, avoid yawning, raising eyebrows, narrowing the eyes, looking at watch or looking at mobile, and changing tone of voice. Body language shall express respect, empathy, and genuineness. Acquire skill of observing the non-verbal data while the client is giving you information. Win the confidence with the good communication skill. All these points are very important in aesthetic gynecology because the aesthetic gynec patients clients approach to improve her comfort with genital appearance, which is directly associated with her sexual life. So as we all have experienced that many times while coming for the sexual complaints, the people really don't tell the sexual complaints directly, but they will tell everything else, like beating around the bush. So unless above skill set is applied, it is difficult to reach the root cause or the primary complaint. For the same reason, consultant should get knowledge in sexual history taking and sexual medicine. We can offer consultation on sexual problems and SUI because these are the unspoken problems with suffering in silence. We can make simple board or posters in the reception area, which will like something like, feel free to ask sexual concerns if any, or do you face problem of urine leakage? This will encourage the clients to speak out the things, and it will give them courage to discuss these things with their consultant. Ask about previous consultations and cosmetic procedures. More number of consultations and more number of cosmetic procedures if that particular client has undergone, then get alert, because these kind of clients are rarely get happy with your treatments. Discuss all possible treatment options with all possible side effects and probable complications. Describe the procedure in detail, which includes pre-op preparation as well as post-op care. Discuss about before and after photography, and it should be done only after consent. Do not overpromise, be realistic, avoid any word which is suggestive of guarantee. Coming to patient selection, age should be more than 18 years. Make sure that the client or patient undergoing cosmetic procedures or surgeries, they are medically fit. For example, smokers or poorly controlled diabetic, or say postmenopausal patient who is not on HRT, they are kind of poor responders. There is poor healing with the surgeries. Assess the psychological status. Make sure that client's decision is concrete and not a momentary decision to undergo the cosmetic procedure or surgery. Judge if patient is having reasonable expectation or undue expectations. Educated and informed patients, they pose less complication because they are understanding. Psychiatric consultation before any major cosmetic surgery should be taken. Client's own wish is of paramount importance, especially for performing the surgical procedure. Never perform a surgical procedure for her partner's wish or someone else's wish. Rule out something called as body dysmorphic disorder. These particular client, they are never happy with any kind of aesthetic enhancements. Coming to medical photography and videography, obviously it is never without consent. Clear consent should be obtained for before and after photography. It should mention that identity will not be disclosed. Also, it should be mentioned whether these kind of photos will be used for promotional activities or not. Camera. Autofocus cameras could be used, but most of them retract when the camera is turned off, because there will be uh, and will need readjustment to set the same magnification when turned back on. The simple solution is detachable lens with the fixed zoom. Uh, that is one thing we can overcome the above problem. Our regular smartphone with reasonable resolution can be a very practical option. The principle for before and after photography is same set of distance, same angle, same resolution, illumination, and uniform patient position. Now, while doing aesthetic gynecology practice, I would suggest to encourage the preventive oncology practice also. Never miss an opportunity for screening of gynecological malignancies. Educate and make aware your clients about the importance of oncoscreening. Try to evaluate on OPD basis without any surgery or anesthesia. For example, colposcopy, pap smear, HPV DNA, office endometrial biopsy, clinical breast examinations. You can have plans for future. Then you have to have vision and mission goals. You can plan for growth and expansion of the services, expansion of the number of centers. Now coming to the pre-existing setups and established obstetrician and gynecologist. It is obvious that aesthetic gynecology services are not purely aesthetic, rather majority of them having the functional gynecology element. Many of the services are simply overlapping with the regular OBGY practice or complaints. Rather, I would say these are just extended services of the OBGY practice. Like in obstetrics, we can offer PRP injections in cesarean scar or episiotomy scar to have very supple scar, as well as for the proper healing. The stretch marks treatment in PNC mothers can be treated. In gynecology, we have patients of GSM. PCOD patient do complain about the aesthetic concern like pigmentation or hair growth or hair loss. The patients with vaginal laxity, labial laxity, hyperpigmentation of genitalia, vaginal dryness, recurrent infection, lichen sclerosis. There can be patients for sexual medicine having female sexual dysfunction, orgasm, wanting orgasm intensification PRP shots, clitoral hood reduction, dyspareunia, vaginismus. The urogynecological complaints like SUI, various types of prolapse, and pelvic floor weakness. With this, all these services I just mentioned, isn't every gynecologist already is a sort of aesthetic gynecologist? Actually, we just need a slight push, a view for most of the aesthetic services, and specific training, especially for purely aesthetic surgeries and procedures. The most advantage of established practitioner with existing setup is that they have the huge client base with a good doctor-patient trust, rapport, and bonding. For intimate concern, women will be at ease to discuss their concerns, wants, and needs about the genital health with their familiar gynecologist without any awkwardness. There must be a lot of doubts about never heard before or recently available services like laser vaginal treatments, PRP shots, and carboxytherapy, and it is likely that woman can choose to trust her own gynecologist. So in these cases where already a reasonable good amount of footfall, it's easier to get conversion with spreading awareness amongst your already happy patients by conducting seminars, webinars, sensitizing your smart staff to spread a word about aesthetic services available in your hospital, Promotional materials in the waiting and reception area like banners, posters, information videos and animations can help. Once you yourself are aware of the aesthetic gynec services that can be provided, all you have to do is start asking proactively regarding concerns which is potentially treatable with newer aesthetic gynecological treatment procedures. For example, non-surgical management of stress urinary incontinence of mild to moderate variety with the help of different energy sources, concerns of sexual life if any, dyspareunia, etc. So what exact changes they can help in pre-existing OBGYN setup for building up the aesthetic gynec practice? I have few suggestions like there can be a dedicated day or dedicated time only for consulting the aesthetic concerns. Generally, the clients wanting aesthetic enhancement are mostly in good health and they wish to have dedicated attention and they may not like to be in waiting room with the patients with sufferings. In case of indoor admission, respecting privacy should be given utmost importance, just like any other patient. This is a small video of our cosmetic clinic. This is the waiting and reception area. Look at the informative posters which can encourage the patient to speak out. This is a consulting room. We have designed our procedure room as per the services we have made available. This is operation theater and a laser room. So I again wish for the Mother's Day. And thank you for the patient listening. I'm thankful Dr. Sejal Madam for giving me opportunity to present myself on this platform. And I hope this particular presentation will benefit the audience in some extent. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.